Hello, guys. Interesting sports that I need to share some information about with you. As you know, chess basically is an Indian game. It has originated in India thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. And unfortunately, we lost the grip on the game. And now, if you look at last 50 years, Russians and Americans are ruling the world, chess world, so to say. FIDE, which is an international body, actually it is ruled by Russians and Americans. Point here is, though chess is an Indian game for a long time, and we have lost the traction in the last 40, 50 years. If you look at our performance currently in the global chess scenario, we are doing very well in the last 1 or 2 to 3 years, especially with the emergence of Gukesh and Pragananda, his sister, and then some other players. Arjun, some we are doing really well in the global stage in the chase at the global stage. We have seen this Gukesh and Pragananda coming very close. In some cases, even defeating Magnus Larsson, who is global champion in this game. Now, from career perspective, as you know, Indians, our national ambition is, as a parent, our national ambition is to make our children doctors and engineers so that they can get a good job and they can settle in life. But these things are changing, as you know. From career perspective, there are four industries that I would like to highly recommend for you in the coming 5, 10, 20 years: the sports, entertainment, pharmaceutical, and food industry. These are education, obviously, is followed. Then there is law. Then there are other advertisement, etc., etc., civil, manufacturing. So this software, this came at a later stage. First is sports, entertainment. These are two very hot industries that are going to create millions of jobs in the coming decade. As well as it also helps us with great career prospects. So from sports as a career perspective, and especially in the sports, if you look at multiple sports that are shaping up in India, besides cricket, obviously, then there is javelin throw, and then there are athletics. So then there is archery, etc., etc. So from that angle, if you want to develop your career in sports, chess seems to be the better option with a low maintenance, lowest investment, upfront investment, and lot of high mental threshold that is required to get into chess. Because until and unless, if you plan to get into sports which has very low threshold, entry threshold, then it becomes difficult to compete at a later stage. But in chess case, in the case of chess as a game, the mental threshold, the threshold for the entry is very high. You have to be mentally capable, you have to be analytical, and you have to reach a certain level of mental maturity, intellectual maturity. Then only you can play chess. That is the mental threshold. And obviously the financial threshold is low to in the beginning, because once you start playing chess, there's not much maintenance or investment required. But as you grow in chess as a player, you may be playing district level championships, then the state level championship, then national championships, and the international. So as we grow, you need to manage finances for logistics, travel, food, accommodation, etc., etc. It starts becoming burden to to middle class families or to lower middle class families. So why I'm telling you this is, we must look at chess as a serious growth prospect, because sports is one of the booming industries in the next decade or two, and chess seems to be the best possible scenario, because you don't need a ground like cricket. You don't need to travel to a complex to practice badminton, etc., etc. You just open your smartphones, go to the online chess game and start, or at home, if you're sitting, just open the chessboard and start playing. So it is so easy. So my point here is, as a chess as a game, we getting is evolving, especially after Vishwanathan Anand's emergence in 1990s. By looking at him, a lot of people have started following chess as a game, as a passion, as a hobby, and as a career. So in the last 20 to 30 years, while looking at Vishwanathan Anand as an icon, a lot of new young generation has got into this game. And that is exactly why we can see types of Kukesh and Pragananda and Arjun and these players coming up and fighting with the best in the world, and they are winning the matches in the at the global level, international games. So this is really good. Now point here is why, if you look at the concentration of this game is very limited. The focus is in Chennai, so to say. Just to give you the background, we have Indians have 85 grandmasters as we speak, out of which 31 are from Chennai. So this is skewed. So why Chennai? Because they are developing chess culture in Chennai right from the school level. For example, Velamal School, which has 12, Velamal Group, school group, which has 12 schools under their management. They are basically focusing on chess as a game, as a extracurricular activity, so to say, and giving extreme importance to chess as a coaching facility. So in Velamal, I think all this Gukesh and all these players are alumni of this school, and that is how right from the age of 3 4 5 years these children are getting trained in chess, and with the specific background, traditional background of Chennai, from an intellectual perspective, almost they always give importance to education and intellectual pursuits. That is exactly why Chennai is at the forefront of creating, manufacturing, or producing grandmasters in India, which is a fantastic achievement, so to say. So if you look at how Subaya is the main coach at Velamal School. According to him, there are four things that are required to become a chess champion. First is the player himself. The second is coaching. Third is the parent who will support these players and coaches, and fourth is finance. So if at all we can manage all these players, obviously are our own children. Coaches we need to manage. Players are in huge numbers. Coaches are limited. Once you get the right coaching, then obviously the parents who, as I said, national ambition is to make our children doctors, engineers. The parents have to be mature enough to understand and accept that our child also can pursue chess as a hobby, not only from career perspective, but also as from mental conditioning and training perspective, which will obviously help him in the academic pursuits. So parents are required, important players, coaches, parents, and finance. Finance, as I said at the beginning of the coaching chess career, is not in the great demand. But as you start making progress, as you start participating in number of tournaments at district level, state level, national level, international level, obviously then the finance is required. The most important point here is the ecosystem which is required to support chess as a game is developing in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. Not only political support, but also from industrial support, the family support, and the society that is coming up to sponsor, to support all these players and their families. Because as you look, because these players, they start at a very young age, so they cannot travel alone. They need proper protection and guidance and security, especially food and shelter. So parents also have to be with them at all the times. Then obviously traveling is required, commercial is required, food is required, a lot of sponsorship is required. So industrial complexes and conglomerates are also helping this upcoming generation of chess players. Even political parties in Tamil Nadu are mature enough to keep their differences away, and they're supporting the chase as a revolution, as a campaign very actively, which is a welcome sight for all of us. So that is exactly why Chennai could produce 31 grandmasters out of the 85 that we have. So it is a fantastic achievement. And if you look at career prospects, out of the four promising industries, sports is going to be the most promising, followed very closely by medical and entertainment. And then obviously in sports also, if you look at the thresholds, yeah, the mental threshold, chase can be a better prospect for all of us because infrastructure is required is very less, upfront investment is less, and you can start immediately. So I hope we can think about chase as a good career prospects, and we will keep on producing, manufacturing, generating, or such a fantastic grandmasters who are ruling the world even at the age of 16, 18. Mukesh and Pragyanandas of the world are a shining example of how a middle class or lower middle class from defeat the greatest of the global chess arena like Magnus Larsen and all those Gary Kasparovs and Gary Karpovs of the world. So it is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to look at chess as a very important career prospect, so to say. And this is my humble message to you. Thank you very much.